Good everyone, my name is Graphics. In this video, we want to reproduce the figure that is displayed at the right hand side of the screen in isometric projection. And if you look closely, that figure is called a pump crank. It is a mechanical part, it's a machine part, right? So we're told to redraw it in isometric projection. Now, like I always tell you, the first thing you do when you are asked to draw in what in isometric projection is to do what is to draw your vertical line, your x and y axis, right, in this manner. So you need to draw your vertical line, your x and y axis in this manner. I'll put this to get this, the vertical one, right, and the one at an angle of what 30 degree in this manner, and these two in this manner. Consider that. That should be the first thing you should do when you are told to draw in what? In isometric projection. Now we need to look for the entire length, right? The entire length meaning from the beginning of this figure to the ending. So let us start. Now if you look at this, it is given as 30 diameter, 30 by 43. It means that this part you're seeing here is cylindrical and the diameter is 30, but it is what? 43-meter long. 43-meter long, right? So that is 43. Now, from here now, the distance from this beginning here to this ending here is given to be what? 64. So 43 plus what? 64. Then plus the distance from here to this other place is what? Is 40. From here that says 30 by 40. That means it is the diameter is 30 and the distance is what? Is 40. And when you add all this together, you're going to be having 100 and what? You're having 147, right? So the entire length here is 147. So I'm going to measure 147 on my meter rule from 147. This is 0. This is 140, 45, 46, 47. This is where it stops, right? And we'll check for the entire width. If you look closely, we are given the width here to be what? Which is the diameter of this shape here, and that is 42. So the width is what? It is 42, right? So I'm going to measure 42 at this point here. This is 42 here. From here, right, to this point here. So that is 42. And I'm going to take it up this way. And I'll take it up to this way. Now the next thing is the total height. Now if you look at the height, we are given that from this center to this center here is going to be 50, right? And the radius of this circle here, the diameter is given to be what? Is given to be 42, so the rest will be what? 21. And the other side is also what? 21. So 21 plus 21 is 42. 42 plus 50 is what? 92. So the entire height is what? Is 92. I'm going to measure 92 from here to this point here. This is 91 and this is what? 92. Can you see that? And I'm going to place it this way. Can you see that? And I'll close here through this way. And I'm going to close here too this way. So what I just did here is to draw out the box that I want to input, carve out my image from, right? So let's move forward. Now, since from here to here is 43 meter long, so I'm going to measure 43 from here. From 1 to what is 40, 41, 42, 43. You can see that? Now, the next one is, I'll now measure 14 again. The next one will be 14, but before I go to the 14, let me make this to form out a box. This, this, and this. Then this. So I brought out that box, right? Now the next one is what? Is 14. So we're going to measure 14 now. From 0, and this will be what? 14. This is 0, 10, 15. This is 14 here, right? Then I'll bring out another box again out this way. Now close it up. We'll do this, right? And this is the 14 here. So from here to here is also what? Is 14. Now the next one after 14 is what? From here to here, which is what? 64. So I'm going to measure 64. From 0 to 64. Is 60, 64 here. Right? And I'll take it up to. Right? And in, so in will now be what? 14. So I'll take 14 in here. 0, 10, 15, and this 14 here. So I'll take it up to. So this is what we have here. Right? Let's see what I'm doing here. So I brought out all the boxes out. Right? I brought out all the boxes out. So we know from here to here, 40, from here to here, 14, from here to here. We have another we have from here to here 64, in 14, in 14, then here is what? 40, right? So we've done that. Now it's for us to start bringing out our curve, right? So I'll focus on these two big components here. The one of 14, let me bring out that one first, these two. So I'll get the center of those two figures, right? We know this is 43. This is diameter is 40, so I'll take 41, the center of this. So this is 0, right? This is 21. From 42, half of 42 is 21, right? And there's the center of that figure here. Now bring it down. That again. Now the next thing is, since the diameter of that figure there is 42, so I'm going to take half of this. Look at what I'm doing. Take half of this from this point. Then I'll mark on that line down. 1, 2. I'll come from down here also. I'll mark 1, 2. You can see that? So what I'll do is I'll draw a line across those points. I'm using a method to draw the circle. Now I'm doing them simultaneously. Right? So the center one here. Center one here. So I'll join the longest diagonal, which is from here to here, and from here to here. You can see that? Then I'll draw a line from this point. Or better still, let me take from here. Draw a line from this point to touch here. Then from this point to touch here. Right? And I'll come here too. From this point to touch here. And from this point to touch here. You can see that? So if you look closely, I'll just bring out the curve out first of all. Let's bring out all the curve where they meet here. Let's bring out this curve with faint lines first. This, right? I'll come here too. Once I've done that, I'll come to this point, come in like this. Right? Come here. Is that again? And I'll come here to do the same thing from here to this point. Right? To this one here. And I'll place it here. Place here. I see that? So I brought out this shape here. I know very well that this side here, I can close it up. Here has been closed up, but I'll just wait a little bit, then we'll do that later. So I'll replicate the same thing to the other point too. I can bring out this box from here to touch here, right? And from here to touch here. So I'll join the diagonal. Right? So I don't really need to replicate the point. I just transfer the point from this diagonal to this diagonal. And also from this diagonal to this diagonal. You can see that? So then this is touching here, which we know. So what I'll just do is, we know that this point 2, this is where to stop. Here is for this. And here is for this. I'm just transferring the point to avoid too much of lines. If not, I'll just redo what I did here. So what I'll do is, if I want to get this arc, this point is for this arc here, while this other point is for the other arc. If I place it here this way, and I come here, right? See that? I'm doing faint line first. Then I'll come here. I'll do the same thing. But here I'm going to stop here because this is touching this. Can you see that? And I'll do the same thing for the down one too. I'm going to do the same thing, just transfer the point from here to already there, and this, transfer this point to this point, and this point, I'll just close it up too. Right? Just close it up. So I close it up to form my box. That is this point, this point, this point, and this point. So I'll join the longest diagonal. That's from here to here. To this point here. You can see that? So I know that this point is for here. And I've already done this too. So transfer this diagonal point here. I'll transfer it here. And this other diagonal point here. Transfer it here. What I'm just doing is I'm transferring the point from this diagonal to the other diagonal with the help of my set square, because everything is drawn with the set square. I don't want to repeat what I'm doing here to avoid too much lines, right? So I can now move. If I want to get this particular curve here, right, I use this point, and if I want to get for that one, I'll use this point here. So I'll just take it here, but I don't really need it because it is inside. It is falling inside here, so I don't really need it, right? What I need is the one outside here. So what I'll just do is, if I place it here, I'll get this. You just touch the diagonal here. You see that? And I'll use my set square to just connect these 2 points. And this is going up. Now you can see that I brought that shape out, but I'm not yet taking it yet, which I will do sooner. So the next thing is to bring out this distance. I say it is what? It is 21, as in the diameter of this is what is 30 of this thing coming out here is what is 30. So what I'll do is I'll measure 15 on my meter rule. I'm going to measure 15 on my meter rule, 0 to 15. And I'll place it at the center here. And I'll mark up 15 and I'll mark down 15. I'll go to the left 15 and I'll also go to the right 15. Right, so I'll bring it out to form a box. To draw a isometric circle, you need a box. So I'll bring it out to what? To form a box. So when I stand this here, this will be going down. When I come to that point too, I'll draw another vertical line across the point, going down. Right, and I'll come to this point too. Do the same thing. Go to this point too. I'll do the same thing. Now the new point that we have here now is just from here, 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 and what, and here. And I'm going to take it out straight ahead. So this will come out. First of all, just take them out. And I'll measure 43, which we already have, but I'll just measure it out. So 43 from here, because the length of that, look at it, diameter 30, then 43. I measure 43 from here. This 43 here. That is where it's stopping. And I'll just draw my line here. Straight line. Just touching this. Touching here, then it's coming down to touch the other one. It's also coming down. And I'll close it up. So I've gotten this new point there, right? So I'll draw a diagonal here. From here to touch here. You can see that. And I'll transfer each of those points. Because I'll transfer them just to avoid too much of lines. So I want to transfer this center point here. I can just come this point, to this point, then the side one here, to this point. I'll just draw my vertical line down. And this other one too down. Right? So if you look closely, somewhere around here, they are meeting at this point. Start again. They are meeting at this point here. Where the diagonal point meet, that's where they are meeting. So that's where I'm going to draw this circle. So what will I do? Take a line, a point from here, take it to the horizontal line, and take from here, take it to the vertical one here. Right? And I will now start. First of all, if I place it here to this point, I'll draw this straight line first. And I'll come here too. Do the same thing here too. Straight line too. Then I'll come to this point where it meets here. I'll do this. Straight line too. I'll come here too. I'll get to this point. Straight line too. That again. So once you've done that now, so we'll start. And we were told that the distance between each of them is 10. So what I'll just do is I'm going to measure 5 on my meter rule, since we are told the thickness of that line you're saying is 10 from here to here. So I'll measure half of it 5. And I'll place it at the center point here. I'll measure 5 to the left and also 5 to the right. Right? So from there, that is where I'm going to raise this up with my what? With my pencil from here to come up. I'll thicken it, and from here also to come up. I'll thicken it, and this is going in. But before I do that, I need to do the same thing I did here to draw the circle at the other part, right? So if I want to do that, I'll just transfer my point to this point, to this diagonal here, also this point to this diagonal here, right? So I'll transfer those points. So if I'm doing that, this point here, I can easily transfer this point to the side, just up here. You can see that. Then this from here to this point, right? So with what I have here now, I can easily join this part to this part here, right? And I'll complete with this one too. I'll complete here, from here to this point. I'll take it to the diagonal. So from here, this point here, you can see that. Now I'll just take this in a little bit and in a little bit. Now we are told that the distance from here to here is 21.5. I'm going to make 21.5 from here. This is 21.5 here. And I can thicken it now. Right? And I'll close it up too. And here too. And I'll take this in. See that? And I'll take this down. I can now thicken this, because I'm sure of where I'm going to. So if I place it here, at this point, I can really thicken this. Then from here, this, right? Then and then you come here too. You do the same thing from here. Just to take in what we've done before. You see that? And here also. Then here too. At this point. So we brought out that particular side out. I can just stick in here if I want to. Right? So the next one is to taking all this out too. So from here to this point. These two. Right? And with the help of my compass, I can just take it here and get this. Then here too. I see that. Then the next one is from this to this point, right? And this. Now close it up. Right? So there's remaining here too. From here to this point. I have this. Then this two. And this. So we've done this outer one. Now we're going into the inner one, right? So I will come to this part and do the same thing I did here on this part here. So let's do that and see, right? So let's move. So from here, the same thing. What exactly I just did here? That I got the center of this. So we know that the diameter of this one is 40. So the center will be what? 20. So center will be what? 20. Or better still, 21. And I'll bring it down. Right? So you take half of it here. That's the same thing we did. And you mark 1, 2. You come here 2, you mark 1, 2. And you draw your line across it. You draw your line across it. This. 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 And this. So you draw a diagonal passing through it. Using ordinate method, that's what I'm just using here. Ordinate what? Ordinate method. Alright, so you pick a point from here to touch this, and from here to touch this. Sorry. Alright, so this is where it's meeting. This is where this is meeting too. And I'll do the same thing here too. From this point to touch here. And from this point to also touch here. Anyhow you want to do it. So the same thing. I'll start from this end or from this end. You still get the same result. So when I place it at this point here, right? When I place it here, I'll be having this. Can you see that? I'll be having this. I'm actually just taking it once and for all. Right? And the next one, just taking it once and for all. See that? Now the next thing we'll be doing maybe the one at the base here. Right, and this from here, and just round it up, joint line. Then this from here, joint line first. So I can thicken from here to here. Go thicken from here to here. You see that? But here I will not thicken it because of what is happening here. There's a pipe coming in. So let me just do the other aspect here by just transforming the what? The point. So let me transform this to this point, and this also to this point. Then this, take this backward, where this will meet with it. Right? And this one too has its own here. Where this will meet with this. So these are the points that are important. So I'll draw a diagonal just like diagonal from here to here. Also I'll draw a diagonal from here to here. And also I'll draw a diagonal from here to here. To transform my points. Right? I'll transform the point from this point straight down to this point. From this point straight down to this point. From this point straight to this point. And from this point straight to this point. Also transform this point here to here to show this where I'll start from, and this to this point here, then and this to this point, right, and this to this point. So this is what I'll just do here. Those points I'll transform them. This is representing this, so if I place it here, right, from this point, I'll move to this point here. Then I'll come at this end here, because this is for this one here, this other one here is for this plane here. So I'll transform it. So I'll thicken it. I'll thicken it. You see that? And I'll do for the other one too. This plane here is for this particular plane here is for this, right? I'm coming. This plane is for this one here, while this will be for this. So I'll stop here. So in doing that, I can now take my meter rule and I'll join this point to this point, right? And also I'll join this point to this point, and also this point to this point. Alright, now what is remaining is what is connecting both of them here, right? So if I should do that, this is what I'm going to be having. Diameter of that is given to be what? Look at what they write here, is 30, right? So the radius will be what? 18. So what I'll do is I'll take my meter rule and I'll measure 15. From here to here is 15, and I'll place it here. I'll mark up, I'll mark down, mark left, and also mark right, and bring it out to form my box. Bring it out to form my box. So this is what I'm going to do. So this is where they are meeting. This is meeting this, 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 and this. That's where I'm going to put my circle, right? Whatever I do here, I must do it here. So I don't have to stress myself about this one here. So what I'll just do is as simple as this. I'll complete this way. Place my compass at this point. But I need to draw a diagonal from this point. You can start from here. From this point, touching the vertical. Then this touching the horizontal here. You can see that. And I'll just place it here to this point to get this. And place it at this point to intersect here to get this. Right, then this here to get this. Right, so I'll take my rule and I'll connect this straight down to come touch here, and on this one too from here straight down to come touch here. This is not going in. You see that? And this should go down from here straight down, coming down here, right? And remaining this here. So I can just easily generate the center from here, this center out. That again, and from here, this line is for this here, right? This is the center of this. So I'll just bring it down a little bit. So this is where it is meeting on this plane. So from this point, I'm going to measure 40 because it's 30 by 40. So I'll measure 40 from that point. So from this point, I'll measure 40 from 0 to 40. So at that point, that is where I'm going to draw my 4 cardinal point there. Down. And this. You can see that? So the diameter is still 30, so I'm going to measure 15, 15 each. So 15, 15 from 0 to what? To 15. And I'll place it at this point. I'll mark 15 up, 15 down, 15 to the left, 15 to the right. And I'll take it up here to bring out that box. So I'll join the diagonal. Right, and I will channel from this end to meet here, and I'll join from this end to meet this here, so they're meeting here and here. So from here I'll have this. Just touch here. Then from this end here to this point. To this point here. Then from here to this point here. So let's take my scent instrument and I'll channel this to just touch the body of this and this, touch the body of this. Right? So we have successfully reproduced the figure that is displayed at the right hand side of the screen, and it is called a pump crank, right? So if you have found this video helpful, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and also share the video. Thanks for watching.